Hello. Today I thought I'd leave the garden for once and come on a bit of an excursion. It's late May and it's this time of year when a couple of particularly unusual butterflies appear in this wood. It's a place called Rowlands Wood and Park Corner Heath, which are nature reserves owned by Butterfly Conservation. And if I'm lucky, I may be able to track down one or two really unusual insects. But I'm not going to tell you what I'm looking for straight away. Let's go and have a look. So come with me and we'll see what we can find. It's a glorious day. It's been raining a lot recently, but now the sun's come out and everything's growing like crazy. What we're looking for is the glade up ahead. Most woodland butterflies don't really live in the dense woodland itself. They live in the rides and glades, if there are any. And sadly, where I am in East Sussex, this area used to be a vast forest, but it's been eroded over the years, turned into farmland. And just after the Second World War, most of what remained, which was still about 300 hectares, was clear felled and planted up with conifer trees, some of which you can see here. And it happened in many other ancient woodlands in the UK, which is absolutely tragic. But at least some of it was saved by Butterfly Conservation, and some of the butterflies have survived. Let's see what we can find. Here's one of our least spectacular butterflies. A small heath. Lovely little creatures though. Just sitting on the path there, if you can see it. Should be roughly centre screen. Very delicate, member of the Satyridae, the brown family of butterflies. And so related to meadow browns and gatekeepers and the like. See how close I can get. Another species that sadly has declined a lot in recent years. I think that's in focus. They're such delicate looking little tiny things, rather feeble flies. But caterpillars feed on grass, I believe, so you wouldn't think there was a shortage of that. Anyway, goodbye, little chap. I'm not here on a reptile hunt, but I can never resist having a quick peek under these bits of black material someone's put down to provide basking spots. Let's see what's under here. Nothing. Probably too hot at this time of day. It'd be very hot under there. They tend to use these in the mornings. There are adders here I've seen before. Not sure what other reptiles. Look at this. I don't know my wasp species, I'm afraid, but this is a wasp which has just paralysed a spider and is dragging poor spider back to a grisly fate. The spider will be dragged into a little burrow in the ground, most likely, and an egg laid on it, and then it will be slowly eaten by the wasp grub. What a way to go. And the harsh thing is the spider will be alive for most of that. Here's a magnificent bit of dead wood. Not everyone gets excited by dead trees, but they're just brilliant insect habitat. Look at all the beetle holes. Those are beetle grubs that have drilled their way through and probably provided food over hundreds of years for generations of woodpeckers, I should think. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know what species of insect have made those holes, I have to say. Guess wood-boring beetles, but they could be wasps. I think actually. Let's see if we can get a bit closer. Oh, there's the remains I think that's the paper mache from an old hornet nest that must have been in here a while ago. This stuff, you can see the sort of characteristic lines where they laid down make the paper mache of the nest. And from the patterning, I would think I'm pretty sure that's a European hornet. Very cool. If you dug around in here, you'd find all sorts of lovely grubs, but you'd also wreck it all, so I won't do that. There's a couple of rather beautiful lakes in these woods. Seen a few dragonflies hawking around. Very peaceful, but not what I'm looking for. First male bumblebee of the year I've seen. It's an early bumblebee. Oh, hello mate. Just have a quick look at another brimstone. The bumblebee is at the back there. I don't know if you can focus through the leaves of grass and whatnot, but male early bumblebees are very pretty, with all that yellow and a yellow fluffy face. Gorgeous little creatures. There's a rather lovely common carder bumblebee. But she's not what I'm looking for, not today. This is the area in the wood I was heading for. It's a big clearing. Lovely male brimstone ahead of us. This is the favourite spot for the beastie I'm looking for, which loves sunny open areas, this kind of scrubby habitat. It's important to clear the trees and stop them from shading out the other vegetation. And just kind of, open sites usually with bracken is perfect. But I can't see what I'm after yet, so let's go along here, see what we can find. There's a female brimstone and two males trying to persuade her to mate, but that abdomen up position is basically saying she's not interested. But they're trying anyway. She's hiding in the bracken now, and the males have a fight, battling it out. Either way, she doesn't seem interested. Crikey, neither of them giving up. They've forgotten all about the female they were supposed to be courting. I'll leave them to it. And now there's three males. Poor girl, having a hard time of it. And once again, those two foolish males are fighting each other while the other male was with the female, but she's still not interested. I've spotted one. How exciting. So it's just landed on some bugle, I think. It's slightly out of sight. There are bumblebees there, but I'm not after a bumblebee. I'm after something else. Well, I did mention it was a butterfly, so I gave that away. Oh, there it is. It's a Fillery Butterfly, to be more specific. A pearl bordered fritillary. Gorgeous little things. Probably not focused on her at the moment, but we'll keep going. So fritillaries have declined enormously in the UK in recent years. There's two very similar species, both of which occur here, the pearl bordered fritillary and the small pearl bordered fritillary. And they've both declined by about 75% in the last 40 years. Isn't that the most gorgeous little creature? There's a southern cuckoo bumblebee just to the left of it, which is a type of cuckoo that sneaks into Bombus terrestris nests and kills the queen. Isn't she a beaut? So, as far as I'm aware, this is the only population of these in Sussex. They're more common in the west of Britain. Absolutely gorgeous. I did my my undergraduate research project in 1987 on these critters in a place called Burnwood Forest, which is near Oxford. Oh, disturbed by that bumblebee. Oh, but here she is. Or he is, I think. I think that's a male. Looking at a similar situation in Burnwood Forest, where the planting of conifers had squeezed out most of them. And I was looking at which habitats they preferred. And not surprisingly, they like the more open rides, which hadn't become too heavily shaded yet by conifers. These creatures used to be common when Britain used to have huge areas of coppiced woodland, which was used for charcoal and timber for fire and so on. And coppicing, regular cutting of different areas of woodland like that, created a mosaic of different aged patches of wood, which encouraged spring flowers like this bugle and bluebells and so on. And also the violets, which critically are the food plant of fritillaries. He's gone, I think. While I keep talking, I'll just show you a bee fly, which is a parasite of solitary bees. It's hiding now. It's on the bugle again. Where was I? Yeah, coppiced woodland, fantastic habitat for a whole range of woodland clearing butterflies like fritillaries. But sadly, coppicing became uneconomic during the Industrial Revolution, really, I think. And so it's declined and woodland management tailed off. And so this kind of mosaic habitat of open sunny glades and more mature trees and coppice trees and so on has become really rare. Oh, look. She's actually gonna, he's trying to settle on me. Right next to my knee. How fantastic is that? Just the most beautiful creatures. It's heartbreaking to think how much they've declined. But they're still here and there's still hope. And wouldn't it be nice if we could set aside the whole 300 hectares of this forest, instead of, at the moment, there's about 30 hectares being managed for wildlife. Most of it's still being managed to grow fir trees, believe it or not. How stupid are we? Anyway, thought you might like to come with me and see one of these amazing beasts. I could sit here all day, but I guess you may have better things to do. I'll stay here, but I'll say goodbye at this point. Do press the subscribe button if you want to hear more or come on other trips like this. Who knows what else I might see later in the year.